Proudly brought to you by iCheck TPMS.
Alright guys, welcome back to another episode with Just Vanning It, me. I'm going to talk you through this episode. This is a bit of a tech talk episode. When we sold our last van, I was kind enough to give the gentleman my tyre pressure management system that I had running on my car and the caravan so he could monitor the van and his car. And I've got my hands on another set from iCheck. We've been running the iCheck gear now for quite some time, and I got to say it hasn't failed us once. So coming across the gib, the cape, everything like that. So awesome piece of material. Now this is the next gen version of the tyre pressure management system, and there's a few changes in that. This one you would have seen in our episodes, especially in WA, from going linear tyres down to going like on the dirt where we're running 20 psi all round. You would have to go in and click the top of the little monitor 5 times to click it into off-road mode, and then when you pump your tyres up, you go click 5 times and it goes back into sort of on-road mode. So it's got 2 modes. This sort of does the same, but except you don't have to now touch or click it 5 times. It automatically will just adjust from on-road to off-road, reading the temperatures. So that's a pretty cool feature, and the most exciting feature for us is it can take new bearing sensors from iCheck. So you get single axle only have 2 bearing sensors, and a dual axle caravan will have 4 sensors. So you pop the caps off your center caps of your wheels, and you stick it on the bearing cap itself, and that way it will then monitor to one screen in the car, which is absolutely amazing. So yes, we've seen people when they stop to put fuel in or they stop for lunch, they go around and they put their hand on their wheels. That's one way to check it, but that's a little bit of guessing in my eyes. Never done it myself. This will actually give you true reading to the screen in the car. So how you monitor the bearings is if all 4 bearings are sort of running around the same temperature, things are looking good. If one is running way out of whack, I would stop and have a look at that bearing. It apparently, inside our little book here, I'll get it all out so I know exactly, because this is the first time I'm running these sensors, which I'm pretty excited about. So that they're saying wheel bearings will run at between 15 and 20 degrees warmer than the ambient temperature. So if you have a car that's sort of up to date, it'll tell you the outside temperature, and then you can work it out and you can see if your bearings are running at the same. But I think personally, if all 4 bearings are running within that degree or 2 from each other, they should be running a good. To have all 4 bearings fail most probably has happened, but it's very unlikely, I suppose. You would normally have one that will run hot, or one bank will run hot, if you want to call it like that. Then you know it's time to pull over and have them checked or change them out. So I think personally that little device there from iCheck is a game changer. So I'm going to go around and install. I've got the sorry, before I go on, I've got the RC010, so it's 10 sensors, so I've got 10 wheels. Now if you're running less, you can, there's different sets. I think there's hang on, I'll tell you exactly now, 5, 8 and 10. So 5 on a car that's not towing, so 1 on your spare wheel and 4 on your tires that are rolling. 8, I'm pretty sure, is a single axle caravan, and dual axle is CO10. So, well, there you go. Before we dive into that, iCheck have also sent me out a first aid kit. Everyone needs a first aid kit when traveling around or camping or boating. Well, we boat, camp and caravan, so that's one that'll do all of it. Great little case, small, fits in a cupboard. Look at that. Perfect. And something that I'm pretty excited about is this torch. Now you must probably look at this torch thinking that's a fairly big bulky torch. Now when we crossed the gib, we wanted to do Tunnel Creek. We never had a torch, and pretty sure most people want that go camping or 4x4ing or caravanning. A torch always comes in handy, but there's something special about this torch. So 1,800 lumens in this torch, and there you go. You can have a bright, or you set your shine on your torch, but this has actually got a 6,000 milliamp battery power bank in it. So if you're going on a hike or on the boat, or you're going away from your van camping and you need to charge your phone or a GoPro or my drone, for instance, I can use this to charge up my phone, my GoPro, or anything like that. Now, we have a power bank that we used to take on the boat so we could charge the GoPro when we're filming. I don't need to have that anymore. I can have a torch, and it serves two purposes. And when we go out caravanning and to save weight, if something can serve two purposes, that is excellent. So have a look at that. That is a pretty cool little item. I've got it up at 100%. You hold the button, there you go. It's obviously not dark, but that looks like a thin beam, and that looks like it spreads out. So if you're walking to the toilet, or you're going fishing on the beach or something like that, or you want to give it to the kids to run around with, how good's that? Let me just turn it off. There you go. And then it's got like a very sort of faint, I wish it was dark, but you turn that off, hold the button, pop this up, you got the charge port on the top and the USB on the out for the power bank. So amazing piece. That'll go in our little pantry here where it's easy accessible. So jump in, let's get our sensors on. Once we've done that, we will jump into something I haven't installed before, and that's the bearing sensors. All right, now that we got our sensors on, this van, my last van, I don't think I ran the signal booster, but I think this van we might have to run the signal booster. I'm going to go and have a look and see whether I can show you the bearing sensors working on the screen alongside the tire pressure management system before. So if I can get my wheels to read on the screen, I will install the signal booster. It'll just be the spare wheel on the back that I won't be able to read, but I've got one and I have a place to install it if need be. So bearing sensors, we pop it open, just a really small little box. This is a dual axle bearing sensor kit. You do get a single axle bearing kit, where you'll only get two sensors, and that's sort of what we're looking at. It's a little square like that, 3M tape on the back. So I'm going to pop off these caps on my wheels, all four, and we're going to install the bearing sensors. Then we're going to turn on our screen and we're going to make sure everything is paired. And what I do is I run a dash mat on top of my cruiser, because we're in the sun most of the time. We can't park our van or our car in a garage or a shed or something, or under a carport or something like that. I run a dash mat, and then what I do is I just stick a bit of Velcro to the bottom of this, and I actually just Velcro it to the top, so I can take it off and move it around, and it sits there the whole Gibb River Road and never came off. So that's what I do. Or if you don't have a dash mat, you could just put the double-sided tape and just stick it on, or whatever you want to do, and then it charges through the solar panel. And yeah, well, we'll get into that in a minute. Let's get these things on. Alright guys, so we got the caravan on the back now, and we've actually been running the TPMS tire pressure management system and the bearing sensors for about a month now, because I wanted to give it a go and actually understand it before I just spoke about it. So you can see how on the screen, Sue's holding the screen, I'm driving. Now the bearings are up to temperature, and apparently the bearing temperatures, anything higher than 15 to 20 degrees on ambient temperature, it's when you've got to start thinking that there's more friction on that bearing if it's getting hotter. So if it was 32 degrees outside, you're up to about that 45 to 50 degrees, and anything over that, you would need to start thinking about pulling over and having that bearing or bearings checked, and along with the tire pressure management system. So having that screen, it sits over here on my dashboard, nice little screen. It gets solar to charge, and it automatically flicks through every 5 seconds from the tires on the car to the tires on the caravan, and then to the bearing temperatures, and then it'll keep just rotating through. So having it over here, I can monitor those tires and bearing temperatures. Now I think that is quite very, very clever. So the technology is there now that you can stop the guessing game and going up to feel the bearings, and you kind of feeling what it's going to be like for someone like myself. When I first started towing, I don't know what a hot bearing is like and a cool bearing is, that the difference between it needing to be checked and not needing to be checked. So I think that's a great feature to add to the safety of towing your car. Now, you can have the bearing sensors for like a single axle, and you can have it on like a boat trailer or anything like that. It doesn't just have to be a caravan as such. So I think that's very cool. Now, R-Check has helped us out to help you out by giving you guys 10% discount on anything on their website. So we had the torch, the first aid kit, the tire pressure management system, the bearing sensors. And if you are to order, just make sure, if it's a single axle, just make sure you click on the single axle so you only get 2 bearings and not the 4. Guys, I hope this has helped you, and the little bit of discount that we get from R-Check for you helps you save some money and you can get on the road sooner. So what an awesome product. We'll be running it on our caravan. So guys, yeah, jump online. But that's it for this episode. If you've liked it, hit the like and subscribe button. From myself and Sue, you have a fantastic week further, and we'll see you in the next episode. See ya.